and by their third financial year, they had reached 1.3 billion shillings.
The key defining characteristic of a poor person is wastage. If you want to know a person is poor, read him by his wastage. So Ruto is just showing we are Africans and we are poor. Wastage. Priorities. What is our priority? To renovate State House?
The major renovation of State House in Nairobi began in January 2024 when the main building was closed for work. The president shifting his operations to a newly built pavilion which costed 250 million shillings. These also saw the renovation of other state lodges across the country, which has costed the taxpayers 1.7 billion shillings. Another aspect that has raised alarm is the altering of the colonial design. The new design sees the previously prominent traccato tiled roof replaced, and experts have suggested that the roof could have been designed as a flat roof with the removal of the iconic chimneys. The compound received a fresh coat of paint, new curb rope paving for the front courtyard, and a state-of-the-art pavilion to replace the decade-old wooden one.
You need to have a conversation with the people of Kenya. Again, it is primitive because there are very old buildings in Europe, and the Ruto travels all over the world. He can see there are very old buildings that have been there for hundreds of years, 1,000 years. They are there. What happened? The concept is to leave the outside for monumental purposes, for historical purposes, even for aesthetic purposes. But these things are part of our history and people's history. You leave the outside and work inside to modernize the inside.
The Architectural Association of Kenya as well as the Engineers Association of Kenya have also raised the same concerns, arguing that Kenya must prioritize restoration over drastic design changes to protect the country's heritage.
There's need for public participation. All buildings that are of public nature require public participation. The only thing I must say is, and definitely we are very much cognizant of the fact that State House is a protected area. It's a seat of power. It remains a protected area. We must respect that. But even those drawings, they could have come to a public place and shown us, look, we want to renovate State House. This is our thinking. This is what we want to do.
Our concern would be that this being a national security installation, our colleagues in Kenya Defence Forces were and have been involved, and that the structural integrity of the building is preserved and retained. We know that the outward appearance is a concern that has been raised.
However, Nairobi State House has not been officially declared a national monument.
Currently, as it sits, it has completely deviated from what we know State House as it was before. Absolutely. It's become unrecognizable. Yeah.
I do believe the prevailing legal framework is that public expenditure is and needs to be interrogated by public. So I do agree, yes, because we are taking time to interrogate the finance bill and all kind of finance instruments that are being developed and prepared, especially from Treasury. Yes, there's a space for asking questions and the public being aware.
The Control of Budget has allocated 10.1 billion shillings for renovations of State House and state lodges for a period of 5 years, from 2022 to 2027. Renowned landmarks such as Westminster Abbey and the White House have undergone meticulous preservation efforts to retain their historical essence. Chris Dairo, KTN News, Nairobi.
Well, as you have heard, 3 billion shillings used for the renovation exercise of State House and lodges countrywide. Tonight, we want to hear your views about this story. Hence, now big question we ask you, was the renovation of State House necessary? Was the renovation of State House necessary? Send us your responses, starting with a word yes or no answer, followed by a short comment as to why, to our toll-free number 22151. You can also tag us on X at Doris Anki, at KTN News KE, and we will be